Hi guys, my name is Kaustubh. Today we'll be installing and configuring NSX AVI load balancer and see how it works with VMware. I already have a VMware environment where you can see I have a single host and I'll be configuring NSX AVI over here. But before I do that, I'll just quickly download that. So you'll just click on the link and click on go to downloads and download now. It will ask you a username and password, and you can use that to download it. So I'll pause that for a minute while I do that. So when you log in, you'll come to my products page, and you will have to go to all products. And from here, you will have to select network and security. And from there, you will have to select advanced load balancer. That's how you have to reach. And there is a KB article on how it has to be done. The KB article number is 82049. And if you come to this will take you to the AVI Pulse page, and then you select the version and then click on this down arrow key, which will actually download this OVA. So we have downloaded our AVI file, the OVA. Now, the first step is to create a content library, and we will be pushing this OVA into the content library. That is needed because one of the architectures of AVI is that it needs service engine, and service engine will be actually provisioned from that OVA. So that's why we'll come to library and create a library. I'll just say AVI in the same virtual center, a local, and I won't enable the publishing. Um, I don't want to apply any policies right now. And where do you want to keep it? It's just asking on what data store. I'll just keep the default one and it's finished. Once it is done, I'll come to import items and local file, and I'll just bring that OVA file, which I have already placed here. Now that is running. If you see down, it is actually uploading it. So let's wait for it to be done. So the service engine will be actually deployed from here. This one is done. But now this is the same OVA which will be used for the controller also. So we'll just come here and we say new VM from the template, and we'll just say give it a name, pre-fill the information what it is asking for. Select the data store, configure the network over here. So I have pre-filled the information, IP address, subnet mask, and the name of the AVI controller and the IP address of NSXT, and then I'll click on next and then complete. So I'm giving it IP address, subnet mask, all that information, and then I'll just say finish. After this is deployed, I'll come to the AVI controller and power it on. Once your machine is installed, you would see that it will start talking, and we'll log in and configure the basic settings. Once you do that, you try to log in and access it. So here you will have to punch in the password. So it is a new password which you want to keep. Once you log in, you will be asked to paraphrase. So this one is when you want to do a backup. So that's what you have to provide a paraphrase. Over here, I'll just keep everything as default. I won't be changing anything. And yeah, click on save and you will see the dashboard. From the licensing tab, you can see that it has an expiry of till 12th of October, which means it's valid for 30 days, and that's the trial version, the enterprise version. Now we would want to register the AVI with the NSX, so we'll have to provide the credentials. I want it to be registered with NSX, and I'll have to provide the credentials for the same. So what I've done is I'll give it a name. You can give any name. Over here from the drop down, you will select NSX as it is local and give the NSX admin credentials. We'll do the same for the virtual center credentials. So the only difference is instead of selecting NSX, you're selecting virtual center this time. Okay, now I need to configure my cloud connector. So this administration part is done. I will come to infrastructure, we'll come to cloud, and we'll say create NSX cloud. Uh, I'll just pre-fill this quickly. That's an NSX cloud. This will deploy the service engine, and I'll just give it a name quickly. Uh, and I'll give my NSX credentials. Um, this will give the drop down of the credentials which we configured on its own on the previous window. And I'll come here. The SE will use the NSX overlay network for the management and also for the data in my case. In your case, you can create a different segment on your NSX and attach that to it. So tier one, and I have a workload segment already configured. I'll just quickly show you. So that's my workload network, which is connected to tier one, and that's the IP address it is using. So the service engine will use this overlay network. Um, and I'll add my virtual centers quickly. It will give me a drop down because it has already been configured, and it will now connect. And I'll select my AVI library so that it can install, it would know where to pick up the service engine from. And I'll just click on done. Now I'll click save, and it will start creating my NSXT cloud. Now in a few minutes, you'll see the status has been changed from yellow to green, and this means the registration is fine.